every week at 11 a.m. So you guys can get the tools that you need to your businesses forward. So go ahead and grab your pens and papers and be able to take notes today, because we got some awesome guest speakers on today, and you don't want to miss out on any of the great information that they're going to be able to give you today. But to kick off the call today, we're going to always, as usual, start off with the recognition. We have with all these great leaders who either got their first sales, their first hires, or even passed their exam to move their business forward. Congratulations to everybody. We actually have so many people on today. So you guys won't get a chance to speak on today, but I do want to still recognize you guys and go down the list here. So for first sales, oh my gosh, we got so many people. You guys are awesome. I have Ricky Jones. Congratulations on your first sale. I'm going to say this wrong. Roshan Z. Congratulations on your first sale as well. Virgil W. Congratulations. ADB. I might saying that wrong as well. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. And we have Sean Pfizer, first sale, and Suzette Brinkerly as well on first sale. Congratulations. This is the first sale of many that you guys got. I know we're going to see you guys on the scoreboard and the leadership board every single week. So congratulations on those. And then next we got our people that has our first hires. And these people are the leaders that are taking a chance, also bring other people in and show them this wonderful opportunity. We have the first person I want to recognize is Demetric, and then we have Ben Yaya. I can't even pronounce that right. And then we have Cedric Williams, and then we have also Julio Nunez also got their first hire this week. I just want to congratulate you guys. It's not an easy, it's not a feat that goes, it's not a feat that goes unrecognized. And then we have people that pass their exam. Man, they're so awesome with passing your exam, and you guys are just one step closer to getting started and being able to most definitely rip that scoreboard up and going through your contracting now. We have first exams. We have Natasha J, and we have Yvette. How do you say this? Yvette Spearson. And then that's all that we have on today. Man, there's so many of you guys. You guys are great. And I'm just, again, want to welcome you guys to the call and congratulate you on all the success. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Miss Karina. She's going to be able to talk to you guys about the next big event. You guys got to get there, and an important message, and also about the fast track new training that we have. Go ahead, Miss Karina.
I'm sorry, my phone was having technical difficulties. All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Colleague, can you kind of give me the okay if you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
You're
perfect.
loud
Great.
and clear.
Thank you. Great job, LaKenya. Great job to everybody who got their first sale, their first hire, and passed their exam. We are so happy and excited for you because I know that, everybody has things going on. There's not anybody on this call that doesn't have something going on in their life. I mean, if you think about it, I know you heard LaKenya's baby in the background. I think she's kind of upset she didn't get recognized, but you hear us. We have kids. We're doing things. You're going to go through things in your life. You're either in something, going in something, or coming out of it, but it's how you react to your situation. And, everybody on this call that have gotten recognized, that are putting number are killing it. These are the guys that are not making excuses. So great job, guys. We're super proud of you. I want to go ahead and jump in and get started with some housekeeping rules, guys. As far as these calls go, every Saturday, there are the leaders that are going to get a message about the lineup. The only leaders that are getting the message are people that are full-time and that are plugged in full-time. If you are not plugged in, you are not getting the message. If you're not full-time, you're not getting the message. So you do have to have those qualifications among other things, okay? That's one. Now, two, If you are not in the lineup call list and you are considered a leader, you need to post the people that are in your direct organization, meaning the people that you've hired. All right, and then also your teammates that have either got their first hire or their first sale. So if you notice somebody has not been recognized, all right, or has not been put up in the lineup list, then it is your responsibility as a leader to add the people on your team so that you know what's going on in your business. And it must be done Friday, all right, before 9 p.m. So you need to make sure that you need to get everybody on your team that either had their first hire, first sale, or passed their exam, because that's a huge milestone. That if your leader has not sent that to you, you need to report it. It is your job, just like it's your job every Wednesday, guys, all right, before 10 o'clock p.m. to put the numbers in under the weekly submit numbers on the website so that we can make sure that we're posting the numbers correctly and that we're not missing anybody, because we don't want to miss anyone. We don't want anyone feeling left out, but we also want to make sure we're reporting the right numbers. So it's your job as the leader that if your team is not posting their numbers, you need to go back in there and post it and have a conversation with them about not missing the numbers every Wednesday. And then especially on these calls, we don't want to miss any highlights. All right. We don't want anybody feeling left out. So if your teammate hasn't sent you the new hire, new first sale, or pass exam, you need to put it in the lineup and send it to me on Friday if you are the leaders that get that message. All right, jumping right on in, guys. Get your pen, get your notepad. We have an important date that you do not want to miss. It is our next big event. We don't yet have the address, but we do have the date and the location. It is April. Oh, even better. All right, guys, take a look at your device or your iPad or laptop, wherever you're watching this, and you can see the flyer. It's April 12th from 12 to 5 p.m. It's going to be in Lithicum, Maryland. Okay. Save the day, guys. You don't want to miss this. All right. And if you notice, if you know, every week we have 80 people on the call and we're growing like crazy. This just didn't happen by accident. These numbers that you're seeing that the teams are doing or the personal producers that they're doing did not happen by accident. It was because all of us plugged into a big event. And as a result of the big event, you're seeing what we've learned. You're seeing the numbers. You're going to get product knowledge. You're going to get live training. You're going to get to talk to the people that are killing it directly. You're going to get everything you need to know so that you're 6 months behind anybody else that didn't go. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you're not at a big event, I don't know how long you're going to make it here. All right. But you want to be there so that you know what to do for yourself personally as a leader here. All right. Moving forward with whatever goals you have that FFL is going to offer you if you go to work. But this is also the ticket and the recipe that's needed if you're going to build a big business, because big decisions are made at big events. And so when you go to a big event, your mind is expanded and never goes back to its original form. Guys, it's like taking a trip to the islands. Who wants to come back home? Nobody. Exactly. This is why we need to get everybody here. And it works. Why? Because look at the group me. If you look, we have a whole new wave of leaders that are killing it because they made a decision to go to convention. So guys, and also this is the easiest and fastest way to build a business. Why? Because you can get a bunch of people in one room to hear the same message without you having to work for it. And you can let Family First Life work for you. So you can either do it the hard way and individually convince everybody that you know that this business works, or you can rally a bunch of people to this free event. It's completely free. All you have to do is get your butt there in a seat and get people in there with you, and they can see the same message, and you never know who's going to change your business alongside of yourself. But here's the thing, if you don't get anybody there, it won't happen. But the more people you get there, the bigger and better chance you have of building a huge business. You know, I think about it, just a year ago, Kali was by herself at a convention, and because she made a decision to build a business, she has now not only changed her life, but she's changed a bunch of people's lives, Her team is the #1 team, and that has the team numbers, all right, so far since over a year. And because of that was not by accident, because she made a decision to go to a big event, and she made a decision to bring some people with her. And as a result of that, look at her business. Just like Ryan, Andre, Thad, Steve, everybody that made a big decision are now coming back, and they're killing it. And they're not just killing it themselves, their team is killing it too. So guys, you want to make sure you're there. Do not miss it. Take off work, take off wherever you have to do, because if you have goals and you want something bigger than yourself, the only way to get that information on how to do that is to get to that big event. All right, guys. Now I know, Kali, you wanted me to talk about something, but I didn't understand what you wanted me to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it over to you, guys. Kali is going to talk about writing with America, the order of carriers, and what she wanted me to talk about that I don't know. All right.
All right, good. Thanks, Corinne. Great job. Congratulations to everybody who had their first sale, who had their first hire, or who passed their exam. Congratulations again. Well, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody, so for the new agents, if you're brand new, and it doesn't matter, and even if you're not, we now are doing every Wednesday from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We're doing a fast track academy with Frank Euphemia and Mike File. And then this is going to really give you all the information you need about what you need to do to get started and how to get started, leads, everything that you want to know is on the Fast Track Academy on on Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock. So make sure that you are there. Make sure that your new team members know about this. Don't just depend on GroupMe for these kind of things, guys. You have to send this stuff out to your teammates so that they know, because people got to get used to, if they haven't used it in the past, they have to get used to using GroupMe. But just, I'll post this link in, I'll post this flyer in GroupMe, just so everybody has access to it and you can send it out to your new agents. So I just wanted to go over that really quickly. I'm not going to take very long, but I'm going to talk real quickly about, number one, about Americo and why we use Americo before any other carrier. So if you don't know, number one, and I hope everybody has their pen and their paper out, because we get questions about this on a daily basis. And I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible for you guys, so that everybody understands that everybody is on the same page about why we do what we do. The first thing you want to do, number one, is before you figure out, and this is a conversation right now, guys. I'm talking strictly about final expense, because in the term world, there's some differences. So right now, this is strictly directed to final expense, but Americo is the company that we look at first. And the reason we look at Americo first is because for a couple reasons. Number one, Americo gives us an instant approval or denial. To give it on the spot. So when we're sitting in front of the client, when we're sitting in front of the customer, it's going to tell us whether the client got approved. If the client got approved for a graded product, there's other products that we can use that may not grade the client. So, but we can help the client right then and there. So you get an approval in front of the client, you let the client know that they're approved. They know that they're covered and they feel good about what you did. So that's the number one reason we use Americo first. Number two, Americo pays us absolutely the fastest. Out of all of the companies that we use, Americo pays the fastest. So you write a policy on Monday before 8 p.m. You're going to have an email on Tuesday morning saying that money is being deposited into your bank account. And that money will be in your bank account on Wednesday. So if you're looking for, then this is how you're going to stay in business, guys, because you always have to have leads, and leads that are new to you every time you call. So in order for you to continue to be profitable and stay in business, you have to you need to keep getting deposits in your bank account. So that's number two. Number three, America, if you have any thought, guys, about getting to vice president or getting to this integrity deal, Americo is what the company is looking at. So number one, as a vice president, Americo is a bonusable company. They're the only company out of the bonusable companies that pays you as a vice president 100% bonus. And the reason this is important, bonus checks are non-charge backable, right? So I got my first, and I'm not bragging, I'm just letting you guys, I just want you guys to understand, in addition to the money that I've made, I got my first bonus from Family First Life. It was $1,100. That's $1,100 that was extra. $1,100 that came out of the blue, didn't know was coming, but extra $1,100 that cannot be taken away, cannot be charged back. So number one, Americo their business is 100% bonusable. Number two, if you're talking about an integrity deal, integrity, and this is somebody told me this. This is a very reliable source that gave me this information. If you are interested in an integrity deal, they are looking at how much Americo business that you write, and it doesn't matter if you write Americo, and then let's just say, for instance, your Mutual Omaha business in your hierarchy is the same as Americo business. They do not like that. So if you are in any way interested in a deal with integrity, Americo needs to be your go-to. So I think, and then the last thing is that America also gives you over a 6-month time period. If you do $45,000 in issue paid volume, America will pay you an 8% non-charge bonus. So all the money, guys, if you're hearing what I'm saying, if you're listening closely to what I'm saying, all of your cash flow is really tied up in Americo. Now we understand that every client does not qualify for Americo. And so if that's the case, there's nothing you can do about it. The client just doesn't qualify. So and this is just kind of in the order of looking at carriers. So the next carrier that we would look at after Americo would be Mutual Omaha. Mutual Omaha generally pays very quickly. Right now, they pay the quickest outside of Americo. But what's going on right now is that Mutual Omaha they're behind in improving policies. So you may not be paid out as quickly as America. You're not gonna get paid out as quickly as Americo. You're just not. But it's still one of the quicker paying companies that we use. And then Mutual Omaha is also bonusable. And then from there, if Mutual Omaha, when I'm talking about what companies to look at, I'm talking about using the final expense cheat sheet, which is on the hub. And no one should be confused about the cheat sheet and where to find it unless you are brand new. But anyway, so after Mutual Omaha, then you can look at Royal Neighbors. The good thing about Royal Neighbors is Royal Neighbors does not they do not have a bill chart. So that means if somebody is overweight, or very overweight, and their height and their weight the insurance companies don't like it. They're not even going to ask about height and weight with Royal Neighbors. And then Royal Neighbors does not look at prescription history. And then from there, if they don't get approved for Royal Neighbors, then you want to look at Prosperity. And then outside of Prosperity, then it's AIG, it's the other companies, but these are the main 4 companies. And I think Brent, I'm gonna give the shout out to Brendan Barnes for this. Back last year, he coined the phrase cash flow carriers. So all these carriers pay very quickly, and they're going to keep you in business and keep you profitable. So these are the ones we want to look at first, and then after that, you can explore other carriers like CFG, American Amicable, other carriers that may not cover these clients. And then the absolute last company, guys. So Americo is always the first company we look at, and then the absolute last companies that we look at is AIG and Great Western. And both of those companies are guaranteed issue companies. So we don't want a client, if we can get a client immediate coverage, we want to get them immediate coverage. We don't want to put them in a policy where they have to wait 2 years, if we can find them something that's going to cover them immediately. So the play is not Americo first, and then if Americo doesn't go, then we go to AIG. No, you need to research it. You need to call your manager. You need to post it in Slack if you have a question about what carrier to use. But AIG and Great Western are the absolute last resort as far as our clients is concerned, because that's out of the coverage that we have, that coverage that is the least, that has the least amount of benefits for the client. And so if we can find something else better for them, we want to find something else better for them. I think that's all I have really. Does anybody have any questions about that? And we should, because we get questions about this every single day. So someone should be asking a question.
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Yes, I
Okay.
do. Can you go over the first 4 companies, please? I have Americo, I have Mutual, I have Royal Neighbors. What's the fourth one?
Prosperity.
Prosperity. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good question. Any other questions?
Kylie, I just want to confirm that this list is specifically speaking for final expense, correct? Just for
Correct.
in case anybody didn't hear that. Okay, thank you.
I mean, but still, Tasha Pass is a good question. We still, even with term, we're going to look at we're going to still look at America first. We're going to always look at America first.
Awesome, thanks.
Late Foresters is at the bottom of the list, to be honest with you. Unless you're in New York, because New York is very limited to the carriers that we have. So if you're outside of New York, everything like I just said is in the order that I said. And then if you're looking at the final expense cheat sheet, the final expense cheat sheet will tell you when to use Foresters if there's a situation where the client needs Foresters. Any other questions?
Hey, Colleen.
Yes.
Okay, so I know I get a lot of questions about this, right? Now, the cheat sheet, there's 2 different types of cheat sheets. Can you explain the difference between the 2?
Yes. So if you go to the hub, and Corinne, can somebody post a link to the hub in here? So you hear talking about the agent hub in the chat, right? So I don't know that, Daisy, because I'm not. Thank you, Quentin. I'm not in Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania you have to. I'm gonna go back to your question real quick, Corinne. But in Pennsylvania, you have to. I believe for certain companies, you have to have a delivery receipt signed by the client. But that's a question for the company that you're working with, as far as Pennsylvania is concerned, because everybody's not in Pennsylvania. Corinne, I'm sorry. Can you ask your question again?
Yeah, I was saying that the difference between the 2 types of cheat sheets.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Quentin posted the agent hub in here. So if you go to the underwriting guides, right, there's a final expense cheat sheet, which is basically whole life insurance coverage for people that, they may be older, they may have some health challenges. There's the final expense cheat sheet, and that's what I was just going over was final expense. And then there's also a mortgage protection cheat sheet. Mortgage protection is term insurance. So it's a completely separate set of cheat sheets for someone who's just trying to sell term versus final expense. So you got to look at the mortgage protection. If you're looking for someone who wants term, it's the mortgage protection cheat sheet. If you're looking for somebody who wants whole life, you're looking at the final expense cheat sheet. Does that clarify that, Corinne?
Yes, and one more question. Well, it's not a question, it's a statement. Can you go over that important message that I think it was Lauren that sent out for that website to check the downline?
Yeah, okay. So everyone should, let me find it. Everyone should have gotten an email from, damn, Corinne. Did I send it to you?
No, it's right in GroupMe.
Okay, okay. So everyone should have gotten an email about the HCMS system. And that is now the new system, so we can have all the information kind of compiled into one place. That's the new system that Family First Life is using. And so we asked everybody, go find an email that was sent out, and it was probably sent out about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. But the system is called HCMS, and everybody needs to go in and get your information, put your information in there, your name, all your personal information, all your writing numbers goes in there, so that the administrative staff has access to all of your information, so we don't have to continue to ask you over and over again. And then also, one of the things that is really good about the system, it keeps track of your hires. So that's one thing that really wasn't being tracked very well, is how many people you had on your team, how many licensed agents. So it tracks everything, but we need to have all your information uploaded into that system. So if you can get that done as soon as possible. I know just in Fury, there's 150 licensed agents. That's just infuriating. I believe all told in Allegiance, there's 300 licensed agents. So we need about 300 people to go in and make sure that thing is filled out as soon as possible. So that's going to make, like I said, make the admin's job much easier. So Corinne, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can continue to call. Thanks, guys. That's my time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, colleague. Guys, that's why it's so important to be on this call. We give updates and important information so that it allows the leaders to go out and run business and not have to attend to small questions that have already been taken care of on this call. Okay, great, guys. So now we're going to jump right into our guest speaker. I am extremely excited to announce who this is. He has not only been such a big help to for me, our team, and other leaders on this call. He's very dedicated, very consistent. You see him up all the time on the scoreboard, and I'm not going to tell his story. I'm going to let him tell it. But he is just, you know, the solid image and representation of what leadership is. His team is growing by the minute. He's one of the top 2 teams in the entire national group. And I'm just so thankful that he can come on here and speak to us so that we can learn from him and his team and find out what they are doing so that we can have the same success as well. And let him tell it. He doesn't think he's special. We do. They're just doing, you know, then you guys can have what he has. And so I'm just excited to announce my friend, my business partner, Ryan. Thank you so
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Corinne. I really appreciate it. I'm just really excited.
much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to, you know, give us some words. Please tell your story and what I text you to talk about. Thanks so much. Take it away, Ryan.
All right, thank you, Corinne. You were a little broken up.
I think we lost you, Ryan.
No, Corinne, we lost you. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I do want to appreciate you guys having me on this call. It is, it's probably one of the best things that Honor and Valor has done was merge with you guys. The Saturday call, I love this call. There's so much information, not only that I absorb out of it, but that our team takes away from it. So really appreciate it. It's just crazy. Like I said, not only myself and, you know, my other business partner, Thaddeus Scruggs, you know, less than 2 years ago, our situation was completely changed. And, you know, being a cop for, you know, seven years, you know, to be able to be in this business and grow personally and now help others grow personally and grow a business has just been an absolute blessing. And I just love every minute of it. But really what Honor and Valor has been doing over the last couple of weeks and just continues to do is really a group effort. And I think that we really learned from so many people, including, you know, you, Kali, and Corinne, and Brennan, and Andre, you know, hopping on these calls and learning that, you know, you can only get so far when you do things by yourself. But when you find other people on your team that have the same goals and the same mission to not only grow a business, but help other people change their lives, that's when you stop adding people and you start multiplying. And I really think that's what we're just beginning to do. And some of the things that we've changed, again, was we kind of merged from doing our own independent call every Wednesday night at 9 to really just freeing up some of that time and making sure that, you know, the calls that, like the Saturday call, the Monday to Thursday did TNL, and now that we have this agent boot camp, it's really starting to allow new agents to explode. As far as the hiring is concerned, a really big thing that we've changed was we've really gotten more focused on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, I know myself included and Thaddeus and Brandy, we were doing Facebook Live and sharing and getting other people involved. Because really at the end of the day, there's, if I have 100 people, Thaddeus has 100 people, Brandy has 100 people, Austin, Kali, Corinne, Brennan, Andre, Richard Moore, all of these people, are able to come together. We're really, allowing more people to just plug in. And at the end of the day, maybe they don't feel, like I'm the person that they want to follow. Maybe it's, they can relate more to Kali. Maybe, they see Kali's on that call, or maybe they see Kali's name in the post, and then now they're reaching out to other people. And at the end of the day, we're all growing. So I think, kind of stop trying to reinvent the wheel and just plug and play and do the things that I continue to hear reiterated on this call has been a big game changer. We've started, I know Thaddeus and Frank, we're starting to do short little videos. And Thaddeus, I want to give you a big shout out. That was actually, really good, and you've been doing very well with those videos. They're incredible. But it's 30 seconds. Just bringing on and self-edifying somebody else is success, because at the end of the day, I don't care, me, anybody else on this call, we're not special. It's a system and training that we've all plugged into that has allowed us to be successful. So when we show a 30-second video on Facebook and Instagram, with this pandemic, so many other people are just looking for an opportunity to not only stay afloat, but really change the predicament that they're in. So those videos have been very, very powerful. I know we've gotten tons of views, and it's just a matter of time before people just start pouring in and start reaching out to us and want to know what we're doing. Really plugging into LinkedIn. And again, this isn't just myself. This is now other people on Honor and Valor, Protect and Serve, that want to start to blow this thing up and take it to the next level, and are asking and literally just listening, creating a LinkedIn account, posting, numbers, and reaching out to other licensed insurance agents, and, merely dropping a text and saying, hey, how's business going? How are you? And it's letting them reach out to us and tell them, because we all know Family First Life is the best IMO in the industry. Like, we are truly blessed to be where we're at right now. So let them want to work for us, because they're clearly interested when they reach back out to us, because they're not happy where they're at. So, it's great. We just got to start tapping into the warm market. Anybody that's looking to start or build, start with the warm market. And then when you have the warm market, immediately start going into the warm market of the warm market, and then the cold market, the Facebook, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, and all of that stuff, which has allowed us to go from, I believe it was roughly around, I think it was 70,000 submit to $100,000 a week. We're just adding more agents. We're not doing anything special. We're just hiring and plugging people in the class. So, Kali, Corinne, I'm not sure if I missed anything else, or you guys want me to touch on anything else. But like I said, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Honor and Valor wouldn't be where they're at without the incredible people and team players that we have that just want to grow their business and, plugging and playing and doing it together.
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, I do. You did great. I have a question though. Can you talk about, because I know you and Thad both made a decision at a big event to leave your job as police officers and do Family First Life full time. Can you talk real quick about why it's important to go to the big event on in April?
Absolutely. And this event coming up, guys, you definitely do not want to miss it. I will tell you that when I went to my first big event, number one, it's free, so you have nothing to lose. I mean, you have everything to gain. So I was in a position where I was losing money, and I was at a position in my life that I knew no matter how many more years I continued to work, I was going to still be broke. I knew I was going to still have to go out there, get a job, just to survive. And, a pension, everybody was, the mindset of the people I used to work with, they were like, oh my God, why are you leaving? Like, you know, you could get, retired, through disability because I tore my shoulder. And I'm thinking to myself, that could take several months. I don't have time. Like when I went to convention, I saw so many other people on the stage that, their biggest regret was that they didn't plug and play sooner and that they didn't hire from day one. So I decided to make that change from, the police department to full-time FFL agent when, I got just tired of seeing myself broke and my family suffer. And when you go to these big events, you'll see these people up on stage and realize that it doesn't matter whether you're white, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're Asian, you're purple, you're yellow. It doesn't matter. We have so many people winning. And my breaking point was, if they can do it, I can do it. So that was a switch that I turned on, Kylie, to say, hey, everybody else that is there, they're winning. It's time to go.
Ryan, did we lose you?
Yeah, hold on a second. All right. Yeah, so it was time to go. So when I made that transition, I have absolutely no regrets. My only regret is I didn't leave sooner. I didn't leave the police department sooner. And that was just out of fear. But if you truly put your head down and you go to work, make no mistake, you will be very successful in this business. No doubt. So, Kylie, I don't know what else we have or any other questions you may have for me.
I have a question, Ryan, if everybody can ask.
Go ahead, Jamar.
Hey, Jamar.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? I appreciate you getting on the call, man. It's definitely a lot of gems that you're dropping. So for people that are on the call that are new, that have never had life insurance experience, what's a few things, like if you can give them like 3 to 4 steps to push to get the Hall of Fame if they've never had sales experience or ever been in the insurance industry?
Absolutely. So, that is absolutely a great question, Jamar. I think the biggest thing that I was able to do my first year was, number one, I don't look at this like a sales job. Everybody laughs at me when, I say I don't sell insurance. I just tell people. The first thing is take the money out of the equation, because money is just truly a byproduct, right? So the only way to help people is, number one, plug yourself into training calls like this. Make sure that your lead flow is very, very high, because I'll say this once and I'll say it again, you can never have too many leads. Very important to be booking a minimum of 30 to 40 appointments a week. And if you get no-show, keep your activity high. And that means either door knocking, calling in, from your car in between appointments to see if you can slide somebody else in for same day appointments. Because if you see enough people, I'd say 50% of the people that we sit with, they're going to buy anyways. Half of them, they're just waiting for a checkbook, or they've got their checkbook out and they're ready to buy. It's all about, they've got to trust you, but they want insurance. So again, I'll reiterate it. You got to have a positive mindset. I didn't go over that. Positive mindset, keep your lead flow high, 30 to 40 appointments every single week. And you've got to make sure that you keep your activity high, because you don't really need any sales experience. All you've got to do is run enough appointments, have a passion and a desire to help people, call from the home, and everything else works itself out. I hope that answered your question, Jamar.
Yep, great.
Any more questions for Ryan? Because Ryan, you did do, so, I always ask the guest, how much money, so you made Hall of Fame last year, right?
I did.
Personal producer, you wrote $400,000 in premium personally for the year, over $400,000, right?
Correct.
How much How much money do you think got deposited in your bank account last year, Ryan? In 2020?
Well, since I issued 500, I think it was, or I'm sorry, 457,000 is what my issue pay number was and some change. Yeah, it was, even with chargebacks, it was well over $300,000. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think for me, the transition happened in the middle of the year because I had some experiences I wanted to build, and I wanted to hire a recruiter and staff and buy more leads and help agents and things like that. But I never worried about money at all last year at all. And now, I just continue to go to work. So, it's a great feeling to have, $30,000-$40,000 just coming through your account every single month and not worrying about, bills. Because when you have that kind of money coming in, half the time you forget when your bills are coming out because your account's still so high, you don't even notice it.
Come on. Say that again. What happened when you got a lot of money in your bank account?
When you get a lot of money and you're seeing $30,000-$40,000 deposited into your account every month, you almost forget about the bills that are coming out of your account because you don't even notice that your account dropping because it's just a continuous cash flow coming into your account.
I got another question for you, Ryan. So I know that some people will go from person to person asking the same question, trying to find a secret. What's the secret here? What's the secret to making $300,000?
Again, I mean, it's all it is. You got to buy leads. You got to have leads. You got to set enough appointments. You've got to plug yourself into training. Forget about the Netflix. Forget about the our people in Baltimore will say 92Q and 95.5. Forget about the radio stations. Start plugging into podcasts. While you're driving, you should live, breathe, and sleep FFL if you want to truly get better. Because, I heard this on a podcast before. We see people that go to the Super Bowl, right? And we're like, man, they played great that game. They had a great game, but nobody sees the amount of practice on and off the field that these guys are putting in. You got to buy leads. You got to have appointments. You've got to call from the home. If you don't know what if you don't know, what product this, what product that, don't worry about it because pretty much the entire year, I would probably say a good 70 to 80% of the appointments I was on, I was calling from the home. And I would say, hey, Mike, I got a question. I got somebody in the home. They're this age, this medical problem. They're taking this medication. And, I just sucked up my ego because I wanted to win so bad that I didn't care what other people thought of me. I was just there to help the client. So to be successful, just, plug in and listen to the podcast because I'm not telling you anything different than what Kylie's going to tell you and what Corinne is going to tell you and Thaddeus and Richard and Mike and Frank. We are all going to say the same thing. Buy leads, go to work, keep your activity high, positive mindset, and you will make, I promise you, with those kind of numbers, the numbers always play out.
So it's no secret sauce, Ryan.
Unfortunately, no. There's no secret sauce.
I was waiting to get the secret. Okay. So and so my last question is, how? Let me know because I know when we talk about how much leads we're buying at this point, like for the average person, the average new person, it blows them away just because of the amount of money we spend on leads. What were you spending on leads when you first started?
I was probably, you mean like when I first started, the first couple months?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure did File give you leads when you first got started? Like, how did that look when you first started? That's that question. When you first got started, were you getting leads from File? Were you calling old leads? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, so my first dial session, I had I went through some old leads and I booked some appointments. I made a sale, made a flip, reinvested, and the only difference that I really changed was at that point when I made a sale, I believed in the process. I understood that I had to buy leads and I had to invest in order to make money. So I went all in at that point, and I immediately turned my my game times on, because we didn't even have these internets when I first started. Which I had a little bit of self-doubt about the internet leads, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The internet leads, I've written some of my biggest premiums and found my biggest deals just off of, $3 and $7 leads. So it doesn't matter, whether you're paying, $3, $7, $9, $11, $65, $85. It doesn't matter. It's just in your mind. So I reinvested into my business. I think on average, I was probably spending a week, when I was doing last year, some of my biggest months, I was probably doing maybe $1,200 to $1,800 a week in leads. But at that point, you spend, just say on a high end, you spend $8,000 a month in leads, and you're doing, $40,000. Where else are you going to profit, 25 plus thousand a month or 30? It's just, there's no other place.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think Maurice had a question. Maurice, was that the question that you posted in the group? I mean, not group me, in the Zoom, or you had another question for Ryan?
No, Kylie, I was just asking if this was recorded. This is awesome information. I would love to keep studying it and sharing it to the agent. Thank you.
Okay. Yep, it's recorded, and it'll be posted by Monday. So just FYI. So Ryan, I don't know. Do you have any? Somebody else had a question. Someone else got a hand up. Hold up. Who else had a question for Ryan? Benzina. Did you have a question? All right.
I have a question. This is Kenya. I was trying to see what does your schedule look like as far as being able to set your full week, plus do your social media recruiting, plus help all of your agents at the same time?
So I think in the beginning, so I'm in the process of now hiring a 40-hour recruiter, or I'm sorry, an admin, or I'm replacing my admin and doing recruiting, and hopefully in the next 90 days, I'll be able to have 2 full-time 40-hour staff members. That's my goal. But right now, I mean, if you do dial a day, run a day, dial Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday for Thursday, and Friday for Saturday and Sunday, because I don't mind working 7 days a week, because even on, Sunday, you can do like a half day. Sometimes I'll do a half run day, maybe 7 or 8 appointments, and mix in recruiting while I'm driving, dialing, plugging the social media. We started, myself, Thad, Kali, we started doing recruiting live dials on Mondays and Wednesdays. So we'll dial Monday. For Tuesday, we'll book up our schedule no later than 3 o'clock, and we'll hop on these live dials. And from anywhere from 4 to 6 or 4 to 8, we'll really just, start recruiting. And you do that twice a week, then you start getting people on your team, and you keep your production high, which should be a minimum of 25 to 30 grand. At that point, you can hire an admin, staff, recruiter, and really start, blowing your business up. But I learned, and the mistake I made was I tried to hire somebody in the beginning to do recruiting when I knew nothing about recruiting. All I did my first year was sell, really, and talk to some warm market hires. But it's a learning game. I don't know everything. I've learned a lot from Kali and Corinne and Mike and Frank. So I think you need to focus on, number one, your production, because if we don't have cash flow coming in and we're not running 30 to 40 appointments a week, we are going to go broke. And, finding that time to recruit, whether that's half the day on Mondays and Wednesdays, or whether that's in between appointments, when you have a full run day. Just literally picking up the phone and calling people or sending Facebook messengers or adding people to LinkedIn so you can talk to them. You just got to keep, whatever you do in this business, I've learned, you just got to keep your activity high.
That's it, attitude and activity. We got one more question, Ryan. So how many, do you know how many agents, this will be funny. Do you have any agents you got, Ryan? How many licensed agents you have on your team?
Yeah, we have a lot, but I can tell you the ones that are writing.
Do you have a number? Because somebody's asking for a number. How many do you have writing consistently?
Right now, we've got about 19 writing consistently.
19, and then your highest issue pay, no, your highest submit week so far was, what was it, over 100,000?
Yeah, I think it was 101, 104.
Shoot, okay. It doesn't take a lot of agents to make a lot of money here.
No.
At all.
Nope.
Because I mean, last year when you made over 300,000, it was mostly just you and Thad for the most part, right? Well, you weren't getting a bunch of overrides last year, so that was based on majority of your personal production.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right, just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so Ryan, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here a little bit early. We appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable, so thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to everyone. I hope everybody got some really good nuggets from you today. So just as a reminder, guys, Monday at 12 noon is the weekly sales call that Frank does, Frank Euphemia. Wednesday is the agent boot camp. Thursday we have TNL live, and then we have live dials Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, guys. So stay plugged in so that you can get better, and so that you know, most people came here to make money. And we can show you how to make a lot of money. You just had to get plugged into the system that we have here so that you can get started and get going and move forward. So have a great week, everybody. We will talk to you soon, and the recording will be on YouTube on Monday. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.